Hey, what's up, Cardi's Kittens? Today we're going to have to do a video that doesn't need me to play the game, because, as around 10 of you guys know, I'm without a PlayStation at the moment and sadly can't enjoy my Unk slop in peace. So today, I figured I'd do something a little different, and I'm going to be going over who I think are the top 25 best Brawlhalla players of all time. The only other person I've seen make a video like this is Phazon, so you should definitely show him some love, even if he isn't making videos anymore. And we're going to be using the same rules as him. So that means that World Champs placements affect the rankings more than LANs, and LANs more than online tournaments. Earnings won't be directly influencing the rankings, and neither will a player's popularity, and both game modes being of equal value. Of course, this video is going to partly take that into consideration with my own personal opinion mixed in. So if you disagree with my choices or my rankings, why not make your own video? Nobody's stopping you. But if you're too lazy to make your own or want to see my video instead, you're in the right place. So, because this is already going to be a long video, and since narrowing it down to 25 is going to be hard, I've got a couple of honorable mentions, Hideaway and Zen. These guys are the modern 2v2 GOATs, and together are probably the team you are least likely to want to go against. They have a phenomenal amount of top 8s between them and of course winning BCX together, and are still dominating the power rankings sitting at a joint second place. Sadly, this skill doesn't carry over to ones the same as they aren't nearly as prevalent there. Either way, they deserve a mention. So originally, I wasn't going to put him on the list, but after watching Phazon's video, I decided he deserves a spot. And that, of course, would be Phazon himself. It's hard to ignore a player with over $70,000 in earnings, but to be honest, if he wasn't included in his own video, I probably wouldn't be putting him in mine. He is undeniably a good player in the regional scene and a consistent top 8 player on the world stage, so I couldn't deny him a place on the GOAT list. We've got another North American vet with our 24th spot, Kosalix. Kosalix is widely considered the pioneer of all things rocket lance, and is probably the only true lance main to break through using this weapon. Obviously, lance is another story in twos, as everyone seemingly has a pocket Ulgrim. But not only was Kosalix one of the first to do it, he did it in a time where lance was considered the worst. And although I've never respected lance, he did it all on controller, which was also considered a huge disadvantage at the time. This is basically Brawlhalla's very own low-tier god, without all the controversies, of course. Number 23 has been around for the best part of a decade, and is still consistently placing highly today. Some might even say he's performing better in the modern era than he was before. We are in fact referring to the most recent champion, Meg D. Love him or hate him, you definitely have an opinion on him, and it's hard not to, when he's consistently amongst the top 32 in tournaments and appearing on stream. It appears that he isn't going anywhere either, especially if you aren't the one approaching him first. We all know that a good day for Meg D is one where he doesn't have to approach at all, and happily punishes your mistakes. Jokes aside, Meg D is a very solid player, and even though he hasn't got many golds to show for it, you can't deny his rightful place among the top of the power rankings. Next is Radish, who I also think deserves a mention. The only true Red Raptor main at the top of his game and consistently getting first place at notable tournaments and also placing pretty highly in twos with the likes of the previously mentioned Meg D and someone who will obviously show up on this list, Balloon Boy. The only thing really holding Radish back is a win at BCX, with his 5th placement against Luna in 2022 being his closest attempt. Radish's achievements are nothing to scoff at though, with estimates ranging between $60,000 and $80,000 being earned. Next up we have Fiend, which is one of my favorite players to watch of all time, and in my opinion one of, if not the greatest spear player to ever do it. Fiend has amassed over $100,000 playing Brawlhalla, and whereas that isn't a significant factor on its own, it definitely shows how dominant this man was. He has 12 gold medals in ones alone, and although he wasn't as dominant in twos, he still managed to get it done on a couple of occasions. He did it all on Nash, who has never been top tier, and I love a good underdog story, so that makes it all the more sweeter. For 20th place we have Wrenched. I don't think Wrenched was truly appreciated back in his prime, but this guy's Katars were terrifying, known mostly for his Asuri and Mako. Admittedly, he was a very passive player, but that just made him all the more scary, because he could delete your stock if he wanted to. He'd just rather guarantee it first. Back in 2019, Wrenched had one of the craziest runs ever, winning 4 major lands back-to-back, and even 6-0ing Sandstorm in the Grand Finals in one of the most dominant sets of Brawlhalla even to this day. I feel like I had to mention Kyler Alice somewhere on this list, even though his career, along with the entire region, was cut short. He's the top earning player for the whole region, holds 29 first-place finishes, and although he didn't get to prove himself much, still managed to place within the top 12 at BCX in 2017, showing that Oceania has some natural talent that could rival the big regions. and with a bit of time, could have gave them some trouble in the future. Sadly, the potential of this region will never truly be reached, but it's safe to say Kyler Alice would have kept on dominating and pushing the boundaries of Australian esports. Next is our first mention of EU, with Simple, who should need no introduction whether you're from a Brawlhalla or a Counter-Strike background. His most notable achievement is second place at BCX 2019, losing only to Sandstorm, or various first places on the European side of things, along with some impressive podium finishes with countless different partners in twos, some of which you'll be seeing further on in the video. These stats don't do this guy enough justice, as Simple got 48 bronze, silver, and gold medals throughout his career. In 17th, we have Lopez, another very prolific player that sadly never touched gold, just falling short with second place at BCX in ones, and second place in both spring and summer championships this year. His story is more impressive when you learn he emerged onto the pro scene with a computer that was the equivalent of a potato, and had to play on a very small window on the screen just for the game to run smoothly. This guy is a beast, and should earn your respect just for that alone. He also got banned for trying to win a tournament while impersonating a friend, which admittedly was a pretty dumb thing to do. He should have just played the tournament on his own account and gave his less fortunate friend the money normally, but I digress. Having been unbanned, he's still competing at the top today, and might even be better than ever. At number 16, we have LDZ, arguably one of the founding fathers of Brawlhalla esports. LDZ was the first ever Brawlhalla World Champion back in 2017, and won it again the year after to solidify him as the undisputed best Brawlhalla player in the early days. You could argue that his wins aren't as impactful as others, since the game was still primitive and the skill ceiling wasn't as high as it is now. But I'd argue that players like LDZ are the reason the rest of us progressed so fast, since they were able to push the envelope of what's possible. Cody Travis is gonna take the 15th spot as one of the best Blasters players to ever do it, and arguably one of the best players to ever touch 2v2s. This guy has countless first place medals in 1s and 2s on primarily Barraza, but also dabbled in other Blasters legends. Despite only winning major tournaments in the online era, he's still considered one of the greats, and in my opinion still is a top 3 2v2s player of all time, often having damage numbers in the 700s and sometimes all the way up in the 900 range. In 14th is another North American staple, with Impala, who most notably won one of Brawlhalla's most stacked tournaments to date, BCX 2022. Impala's career was relatively short, all things considered, and never reached the same heights again after that. He continued placing highly with a win at DreamHack San Diego 2023 in ones, and a top 12 placement at BCX the year after. Impala's reign, albeit short, was a dominant one, and you could make arguments for placing him higher or lower, but I think somewhere around the middle is pretty fair. Next in 13th is possibly the most prolific placer in all of Europe's history, with the joint first for top 8 placements and undisputed first for top 32s. This, of course, was Addy Mestic. He won BCX in 2018 with Cake in 2v2s, and the year before placed second in both 1s and 2s, losing to LDZ and Boomy and Remy respectively. Addy Mestic, like LDZ, was another pioneer of early Brawlhalla, and helped showcase to the rest of us what was possible. Next is a fan favorite and another personal favorite of mine to watch, Luna. This guy had an insanely short but spectacular run, taking home a substantial amount of money from this game, with one of the notable performances being gold at the North American Spring Champs 2022, without dropping a set. He was briefly power ranked number 1 after winning Midseason Championships 2022 and placed 3rd at BCX 2 years in a row, with one being in 1s and the other in 2s with Pugsy the year before. Luna sadly succumbed to a wrist injury and got addicted to League of Legends in the meantime. This is probably the most tragic thing you've heard all day, and for that, I'm sorry. Just falling short of the top 10 is Loris, who is still currently active and still out there dominating in 2v2s, most recently winning the Summer Championships this year with his partner in crime, Kaina, and getting 4th in the tournament before that. Loris and Kaina have been a duo for a while now, with his best placement being 2nd place in BCX 2024 for 2s, alongside Kaina. Loris is one of those rare cases of longevity, where he adapts to whatever meta the game throws at him and continues to improve over time, even after being around for all these years. At an even number 10 is possibly the longest high-placing pro in all of Brawlhalla, EU's very own Blaze. Boasting astronomical Brawlhalla earnings and being able to brag that he's still got it after all this time, Blaze definitely deserves to be a top 10 GOAT, and in my opinion, top 3 in Europe of all time. I might be biased, but I think his stats speak for themselves. Most gold medals in Europe, and of course I got to mention the 17 tournament win streak him and Akno went on together. Like Kaina and Lores, Blaze and Akno are still going till this day, getting 2nd together at the latest major tournament, Summer Champs 2026. Blaze is also a 2-time world champion and has other notable first-place finishes such as DreamHack Rotterdam and DreamHack San Diego. For our number 9 spot, I went with possibly the strongest greatsword player to ever touch this game, Use. This guy won 2 of the most competitive world championships ever, back-to-back. Use had a very dominant run with not only the 2 first places at BCX, but also a number of other majors like the Trials of Freya, Lafay, and Scotty in 2024. Although I'm talking about him in the past tense, Use still competes in major tournaments, getting first in 1s and second in 2s this year's Summer Championships, proving that not only does he still got it, but he doesn't even need Greatsword to do it. At number 8, we have, in my opinion, the second best player ever to come out of South America, Wes. Wes has had an absolutely insane consistency throughout his career, with 60 top 32 finishes and a whopping 50 of them going to at least a top 8 finish or higher. Wes is one of those types of players who are the greatest to never do it, with notable placements of second place at BCX 2021 in both 1s and 2s, as well as second place at the Mid-Season Championships in 2024. I personally think Wes is another contender for fundamentally being the best 2s player in the game, and I think he excels there more than in 1s. For lucky number 7, I went with someone you could easily argue deserves a top 5 spot, Godly. Godly has definitely lived up to his name by being incredibly successful, both as a player and a coach, and you could even say nobody knows the game better than Godly. He has notable wins with first at BCX 2s in 2023, and second place in 2022 and third place the year after at BCX in 1s. Godly has also coached others to victory, helping Markimu in his rise to the top, and more recently with Bamya, whom he went on to win Summer Champs this year with in 2s. He, of course, also won the most recent tournaments 1s to show he still has full command over the entire region. Number 6 goes to my personal favorite pro of all time and pick for the best EU player, Akno. When we talk about true consistency, Akno is the undisputed king. Akno has been around since 2019, and he's earned a gold medal every year since. He's also, to my knowledge, the first player to showcase the Karti Classic, so I guess I owe this guy my life too. He consistently places high with multiple teammates in 2s, and also came second with his most successful partner Blaze in the most recent tournament Summer Championships. Although it's not a factor taken into consideration, it's worth noting that Akno also ranks amongst the game's highest paid players, boasting around $200,000 in prize winnings. Making it into the prestigious top 5, we have South America's finest, Kaina. Kaina, like his teammate Lores, has been dominant for years, winning BCX in 2024 with Lores, getting first places in Winter Royale and Spring Royale 2024, and getting back-to-back runner-up finishes with second at BCX 2023 and 2024 in 1s, losing out to Use on both occasions. Kaina is widely considered one of the best hammer players Brawlhalla has ever seen, and I'd have to agree. And the most terrifying bit is, for the most part, he does this on Taros. Even after Taros gets nerfed too, he just terrorizes people for the love of the game, and I'm all here for it. Number 4 goes to the meteoric rise of Balloon Boy, a guy who many consider to be the reincarnation of Boomy. I personally don't see it though, because Sandstorm and Boomy's beef was pretty one-sided back in the day, and Balloon Boy in the present day not only manages to keep up, but still has room to surpass everyone and become the greatest player of all time. That's what makes him so scary. All he needs is a few more dominant tournament runs, or some notable wins over the current highest seeds in Brawlhalla today, and he's considered the greatest to ever do it. But for now, I'd put him as the 4th greatest, which is phenomenal in its own right. In 3rd, we have the beloved Boomy. This guy, in my opinion, is the greatest 2s player hands down. He wasn't the first ever player to create or use team combos, or known as black holes in the early days, but he and Sandstorm were so ahead of their time when it came to 2s combos that every team at the top had to learn these combos and confirms. Otherwise, they could not compete. Boomy, along with being the best 2s player, also has claims to being the best blasters player to ever touch the game, and is the entire reason I gave my level 75 Ada a shot and took this game seriously past a gold level in the first place. This guy has 5 first place wins in 2s at BCX with 3 different partners. Who else can say they have achieved that? Our runner-up as the 2nd greatest Brawlhalla player is Markimu. This guy has skyrocketed to the top in such a short amount of time, and had no fear when it came to winning and even clipping pros in a lot of cases. With placements like first at BCX last year and 3rd the year before, there's no telling what's the limit with a guy like this. Markimu has insane movement, a deep bag of reads, and a brilliant mind when it comes to offstage clips. And of course, with minds like Godly being able to coach him into fixing any weaknesses he may have, it's pretty much over for the rest of us. Might as well wait for this guy to retire. Now for the moment you've all been waiting for, unless you skip to the end. Our number 1 spot goes to the one and only Sandstorm. When you talk about Sandstorm, people immediately jump to calling it Glaze, but is it really even a debate who's the greatest to ever do it? The guy won BCX in 1v1s 3 times, won BCX in 2v2s 3 times, and was ranked number 1 in America for 3 straight years. He holds the record for the most tournament wins with a massive 99, and was the first player to reach 3,000 elo, which was previously thought to be impossible. He is a pioneer in many of the scythe reeds and strings still used to this day, and will forever be the OG clip farmer in tournaments. True definition of just doing it for the love of the game. It will be a long time until somebody surpasses this man's achievements, but if someone wants to prove me wrong, go for it. I love watching tournament clips anyways. This video took forever to make, so if you want more videos like this, be sure to support the video by liking, hyping, commenting, and subscribing. Be sure to give me more ideas in the comments below, and thank you so much if you made it this far. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one.